On this program, we'll revisit some of the classic games of the Bill Peterson era as Florida State celebrates Coach Pete's 50th anniversary. Bear Bryant's Alabama Crimson Tide had won 17 games in a row when they opened the '67 season in Birmingham against FSU before 72,000 fans. It was the first start for quarterback Kim Hammond, who knew he was facing a monumental task.
As you would expect, Alabama was extremely disciplined. And my game plan, and the one that was presented to me by the coaching staff, Don Bro particularly, was just don't make any mistakes because he'll kill you if you do. And so I went into that ball game trying to be as focused as I possibly could. I'm trying to make sure that I didn't make mistakes, didn't do something stupid, and hope for the best. We knew we had a good team to play.
While ABC television filmed a documentary on the Bear, FSU stunned the Tide with an opening drive and an 11-yard touchdown pass from Hammond to All-American receiver Ron Sellers. The lanky receiver would go on to catch 13 passes for 165 yards. A couple of minutes later, Walt Sumner returned a Bama punt 75 yards to make it 14-0.
Just about everything that we were trained for years to do came to play. I just stuck to the game plan. I read the keys, found the single coverage receivers, got the ball to them, and then of course plays like Walt Sumner's long run just was what it took. And I think Bear Bryant was a little puzzled because of the way we were so disciplined and the way we were just picking away at them.
Bama recovered from the shock to take the lead, but the Seminoles would come from behind 4 times to pull off an astonishing 37-37 tie. Naturally, Ron Sellers has great memories of that game.
We were going against the #1 team in the country, and we were 24-point underdogs at Birmingham, and it was our opening game, and we already lost to Houston the week before. So it was one of the most memorable nights of my life, and I think FSU football too. When you look at what we did against the Bear Bryant-led team, they had 2 All-Americans that when I met them on Ed Sullivan's show in December, all they wanted to do was to make sure that I knew that they really did not like FSU nor me for what we did to them, because they had to go out and practice the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Sporting a 6-game winning streak, Pete's Seminoles closed the '67 season in Gainesville with a Gator Bowl berth on the line. Taking a 14-3 lead in the second quarter, it looked like FSU might cruise to victory. Then misfortune struck.
I pushed my luck just a little bit, trying to get rid of a ball, trying not to take a loss on a rushing situation. And as I threw the ball, I was grabbed by the face mask and pulled backwards, and I landed on the back of my head. That's what knocked me out. From that time on, I'm not sure about a great deal of things. I do remember trying to read the scoreboard, couldn't do it. Nothing made much sense. I remembered about 3 plays. I ran them. We were successful, and Peterson pulled me out.
The Gators closed to within 7 in the third quarter, but there was still no sign of the injured Kim Hammond, who had stayed in the locker room at halftime. Pacing the sidelines, Coach Pete said, "Things are not going good out there. They got our walls to the back, but we've got to keep our cools." The Seminoles badly needed some Hammond to Sellers magic, and they got it when a still groggy Kim Hammond came back onto the field.
It wasn't just that throw. Our defense did a great job on recovering a fumble by their star receiver, Richard Trapp, like on our 6-yard line, because they were going in to really go ahead of us. And so we recovered, and then fortunately Kim Hammond came out back into the game after being knocked out in the first quarter, and came back in, and the first play was about a 54-yard pass to me. Then we lost 2 yards in a running play, I think to Larry Green, and then the next pass was from Kim Hammond to me for a touchdown. So that was a quick three plays and 94 yards, and that was the decisive touchdown to win that ball game, to beat the Gators.
Afterwards, Coach Pete proudly tells his players, "We can hang our heads high."